Welcome to the second episode of All Smoke, All 32 with Aaron Gibbons. These are my predictions for week 1 of the NFL, the 2022 season. We have been highly anticipating for this, and we are all excited. Let's get right to it. First matchup I got is your boys, the Houston Texans, versus the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Colts are looking to snap an 8-year losing streak on home openers. Injury report. Linebacker Shaquille Leonard is out for the Colts. And the Texans' Mario Addison, defensive lineman, is doubtful. So if you pay attention to football, this is a big loss for the Colts and is a very big game changer. The Texans clearly want to play old school football when making the rookie running back Dameon Pierce their clear-cut starter. Understandably so, the Colts are coming into this game very, very excited that their offense seems more improved with the addition of adding star quarterback Matt Ryan. Now, Matt Ryan, of course, coming from Atlanta, he had his definitely good shares in times, and literally his key moment of his career is losing the biggest deficit in a Super Bowl and letting the Patriots come back. It's definitely something that when you look at where he's now in his career, do you really think that he is the answer for a Colts team that really on paper and what they've been showing is they just need a quarterback? Their defense is stout. Their run game is arguably one of the best in the league with Jonathan Taylor. But it's a division game and it's week 1. And the Texans are ready. They have been building slow and small pieces within this offseason to more than just put a team out on the field to play. They have a team out there that can actually win. I'm not being a homer on this. I understand it's my team, but I really feel in this week 1 matchup, we really have the edge against the Colts. So give me the Texans, 28-21, in what everybody would call considered an upset. Moving on, 49ers versus Bears. This one is definitely going to be a game to watch. 2 upcoming superstars on the field. You have Fields and Lance. And the bigger story, honestly, right now is tight end George Kittle for the 49ers is out due to a groin injury. And star linebacker Khalil Mack will sit out and rest his foot. I really think this will be a nice toe-to-toe matchup between the two quarterbacks. And I honestly feel that we're going to get a win from a team that we honestly don't expect. So give me the Bears. And if you would like to call this an upset, 24-21. Saints versus Falcons. Vet wide receiver Tre'Quan Smith is out with a groin injury. Running back Dwayne Washington has a hamstring injury. And Paulson Abdino, cornerback, second year for the Saints, is out due to his ankle. Rookie wide receiver Drake London knee will be good to go, but limited. Seems as if the Falcons just want to see how they can handle and have a set group of plays for him. Understandably so. I mean, they have in what you would call a tough time. Atlanta, for their downfall since the Super Bowl loss to the Pats, and rightfully so, I think this game honestly will show how hurt they are in regards to personnel-wise. Mariota had his chances to prove he belonged with a couple of teams, and he just can't find a team to get right on. Which, on the other hand, we kind of have basically the same situation with Jameis because he was Mr. Pick and couldn't get it right with Tampa. But after being on the team for a little while, having a new head coach, filling out things, bringing back a Michael Thomas, throwing on a Tyrann Mathieu like in the secondary, It's going to be another show for the Saints against the Falcons. I got them in a blowout, 34-17. Now here we have the Jags versus the Commanders. The Commanders will be without starting safety Cam Curl due to a thumb issue. Now early in the year, they lost running back Brian Robinson after a gunshot wound to his leg. And the Jags have a few banged up individuals, but all seem good to go today. I believe this game will have a lot of turnovers due to the inconsistent run game the Commanders may have, and the Jags facing one of the toughest defenses in the league. Once I feel he can take decent care of the ball. He has his ways where he can try to force things and honestly throw interceptions, but I just think he will do enough and put up enough points for his defense to really shine and take over. I honestly think if the Jags don't come to play with the little roster that they do have, re-signing some of the talent that they thought that really should be even better and giving them the money, I just think it's going to be a long day for Trevor Lawrence and company. I honestly don't think the Jags did enough this offseason to put more players around him. And I really think they're going to come out flat in this game and get hit in the nose straight up by this Commanders defense. Washington wins 24-7. Eagles versus Lions. Eagles are healthy and ready to go. However, defensive tackle Levi Akwarduki and Tommy Kramer, the guard, have been ruled out with injuries. Neither player practiced at all during the week. There is no secret here, and I'll be quick with this one. I believe Jalen Hurts, it's his team to lose. And he looked great in the preseason, and his defense definitely followed. The only trouble they will face is playing on the road in a dome week 1 in Detroit. I understand the Lions have arguably the best defensive player in Aiden Hutchinson, which, by the way, I did meet in Vegas day 1 before the draft. But him alone will not be enough to stop this well-coached Eagles team. I got Eagles in a blowout, 38-10. Patriots versus Miami. The game of questionable players, because both teams have 5 players that have been banged up through the preseason. However, seeming if everything is everything, all these players for both respective squads will be good to go. This is probably going to be one of those divisional chess matches due to the fact that Pats always have a tough time playing Miami in Miami. Hill is definitely going to be the focal point for this offense, which makes him an easy target for the Pats to game plan against. But you can't forget the fact Waddle is on the opposite side of him and arguably the fastest receiver in the game. Also, the Dolphins plugged in a few backs from other teams this offseason to help build a run game for Tua, while the Pats getting back a few decent corners of their own and from other teams as well. Usually, I would go with the vet coach who proved he can get it done no matter which starting QB he has, Belichick. However, I think for the first time in a long time, the Dolphins finally have a team they can be happy about. The Dolphins win in a blowout, 35-21. Browns versus Panthers. Now, this is going to be a tough loss straight from the gate, and I'm really not sure how much more we're going to see of Greedy Williams with the Browns. He was placed on IR, so that's kind of a thing that's been going on, and they know how to kind of game plan without him because he's already missed 21 games in the last 2 seasons. Also, receiver Michael Woods, the second, was downgraded to out. Panthers seem pretty healthy, and finally we get to see Christian McCaffrey again. This is the game that has all the hype around it due to the fact Baker faces his former team in the first game on the opposing side. And this game will be, honestly, the least exciting to watch for me. In the regular season, offense wins games. Due to the fact that Brissett looked just okay, along with Baker in the preseason, these QBs are both lucky to have well-known running backs who can carry the load. I never believed in Baker, and I won't pick him now, just because he's on a new team and he has Christian McCaffrey. Browns win 20-17. Ravens versus Jets. Right off the bat, this Jets team looks to be in trouble. Getting an old vet left tackle in Dwayne Brown that can't even play against the Ravens is a red flag. Let alone he might be put on IR and miss the next 4 games. We already know Zach Wilson, quarterback for the Jets, is out due to an IR injury that he suffered in the preseason. And as well as the Ravens look to be pretty healthy with only left tackle Ronnie Stanley out due to an ankle injury. This may be very lopsided. The most interesting fact that these two teams is that the Jets only beat the Ravens twice, and both of them being home games with a QB that used to play for the Ravens is by far pretty fascinating to know that Flacco could be the third. But Lamar Jackson wants to get paid. He wants to win, and he wants to do it now. This whole offseason, it's been about Lamar's contract negotiations, and I know he's going to show the Ravens why they need to pay him. Do I believe in Lamar Jackson? Honestly, I don't know. But I do believe he is going to take his offseason frustrations when not getting a deal done and take it out on the Jets. Okay, I'll give the Jets this. They did have a good offseason grabbing linebacker Mosley from the Ravens and picking up some of the best players in the draft in Sauce Gardner and Bryce Hall. But it's going to take more than a veteran linebacker, a rookie cornerback, and a rookie running back to slow down Lamar Jackson. Give me the Ravens in a blowout, 42-7. Steelers versus Bengals. Both teams seem pretty healthy with some questionable players. Wide receiver Deontay Johnson, who has a shoulder injury, was joined by offensive tackle Chimuka Okafor for Pitt. Let's get it to the Bengals. They did one thing right this offseason, and that was help find more protection for Joe Bead. However, keeping the secondary basically the same on the other side of the ball, that would be an issue for them in this game. Regardless of how historically good the Steelers team is under Mike Tomlin and him never going under 500 as a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, he also never led a team without star quarterback Big Ben. I don't doubt Mike's ability to coach his team up with a well-known division opponent in front of him. He just doesn't have the squad to compete against them, who just lost the Super Bowl due to their defense underplaying. The only thing the Bengals did this offseason was get better, while the Steelers are just trying to stay relevant and getting a vet QB in Trubisky, hoping he could play better with a different organization. If this game gets out of hand, we might just see rookie Kenny Pickett early than expected, because Tomlin is known for pulling his QBs if they're not performing well. Give me the Bengals in a blowout, 42-17. Chiefs versus Cardinals. Chiefs are healthy and good to go. However, wide receiver Randall Moore hamstring will be out. Offensive line Cody Ford with his ankle is out. And J.J. Watt, defensive end, is more likely to be out for the Cardinals. And let's not forget, arguably the best receiver in the league, D-Hop, DeAndre Hopkins, will be inactive due to his PED suspension. This is my take on this game straight up. Andy Reid is one of the best coaches in the NFL during this era. We forget what he did for the Eagles and basically losing to the Pats in the Super Bowl because McNabb missed throws. He got his shot again with the Chiefs. Alex Smith wasn't the answer. Moved up in the draft to take a quarterback that was less highly anticipated than Watson, who just beat Bama in a national chip game. Within 3 years of molding Mahomes, beat Watson in a blowout playoff game after being down 24-3 in the first quarter, and then winning the Super Bowl in that same year. Tyreek Hill is fast and was arguably the most exciting player to watch when with the Chiefs. But we forget who molded him and remember how he was deemed a return specialist, and the dilemma with star cornerback Jalen Ramsey. Ever since that matchup, we had no question of who he was. But to be honest with you, why can't Andy and Mahomes find another person to fill that void? Coaching matters as much as players have on the field, because if you don't put them in the right situations to win, they will never be productive regardless of how fast and talented they are. The head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, Cliff Kingsbury, is just 13-18 as Arizona's head coach. And I do not see him staying there after this season. Chiefs win 38-20. Raiders versus Chargers. Chargers cornerback J.C. Jackson with an ankle, tight end Donner Parham Jr. with a hamstring did not practice most of the week and likely to be out for the Raiders. For the Chargers. And basically the Raiders are pretty healthy. I really like this divisional rivalry and what it has become. You have two honest QBs trying to get over the hump and prove to their teams that they are the guy. Carr dealing with some injuries that arguably took his best season away from him. And Herbert, a young star, trying to get his first playoff berth in just his third year. The kid has 38 touchdowns and only 15 interceptions coming into the season, which, to be honest, is not bad at all. The supporting cast of the underrated running back Eckler, vet wideout Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams definitely gives him a shot to win. However, I feel Derek Carr and company on the road will treat this game like they're playing at home. Carr having a new addition, Mr. Adams, is a game changer, let alone them having chemistry from playing college ball together at Fresno State. Throw in Hunter Renfrow, tight end D. Waller, and the action back in Josh Jacobs, this squad is now officially a Super Bowl contender. Both defenses look stout with the newly additions to the Chargers trying to stop the pass. And the Raiders last year were tied for second in quarterback pressures and ranked 10th in third down conversion percentage. In other words, Raiders defense, they bend but don't break. Raiders in a close one, 31-28. Packers versus Vikings. Packers all-pro left tackle David Bakhtiari and Pro Bowl offensive lineman Elgton Jenkins will be out for today's game. Also, Rodgers might miss the fact that up-and-coming star receiver Allen Lazard did not practice all week due to someone stepping on him last week. So that should give rookie receiver Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs the nod for their NFL debuts. My high school football coach told me as a receiver, if you don't block, you don't play. Simple as that. And one thing I love about an honest receiver is that they can go down the field and block. And Lazard definitely blocks down the field for his team, which that aspect of him will be missed alone, let alone his playmaking ability. Other than with a few listed questionable Packers, they are okay health-wise And on the other hand, with the Vikings, looking pretty healthy and should be good to go on both sides of the ball. The Packers are facing a few familiar faces on defense at the side and linebackers Adarius Smith and slot cornerback Shandon Savili. Look for Rodgers to try to take advantage of what they know and what they don't know about this offense. He is playing for the first time in a long time without all-star wideout Adams, but I don't think that will stop Rodgers from being Rodgers. Now, them not having their two damn good linemen will be a problem, and I honestly think that will result in different play calling for the Packers. Kirk Cousins, on the other side, has proven to be a very accurate quarterback, but in the win and loss column is what everyone should really look at. He is just 500 with 25-22 with one tie, only 6-13 in primetime games, and the one tie that he has comes from facing the Packers and also 3 wins with 3 losses. I honestly don't believe in the Vikings with Cousins, and I actually like Cousins coming out of Michigan State, competing behind RG3 in Washington. But his inconsistent ways, along with their star running back Cooks not being able to stay healthy, the only thing the Vikings got right is drafting receiver from LSU, Justin Jefferson. I'm an LSU fan, and I called it about what he was going to do when he came right into the league. You cannot forget about Pro Bowl wide receiver Adam Thielen as well, who is opposite side of him, who helps the passing attack, which is the reason why they went after someone like Jefferson. But the Packers are just tough on defense, and they know the Vikings too well. I'll take the Packers to spoil the Vikings home opener 24-17. Giants versus Titans. Titans cornerback Elijah Molden has a groin issue. Safety Lonnie Johnson has a groin issue. Linebacker Chance Campbell has a knee issue. And offensive lineman Jamarco Jones triceps, all to be out. Those are a few key players that Coach Vrabel likes to use and move in his defense. But he's all about the next man up mentality, in which coming from Belichick, so they should be prepared. On the other side, the Giants rookie outside linebacker Kayvon Thibodeau, knee, and outside linebacker Azeez Ojulari, calf, are doubtful in today's game. So we definitely are going to probably wait to see Thibodeau's debut. And the linebacker out of Oregon was supposed to be a big difference for the Giants. So him not playing today is definitely going to be a game changer. I don't believe in Daniel Jones, even with a healthy Saquon Barkley. And we could pinpoint maybe why Saquon has been hurt and why the Giants have a bigger void to fill. But your QB cannot lead the offense consistently, then he is not the answer. They went O-line and got some protection for him. And respectfully so, he has not had any time with his time as a quarterback with the Giants. So this is his make or break year for Daniel Jones. And I highly doubt it's going to turn out well for the 4th-year QB out of Duke. Now, Tannehill, I feel the same way. But his situation is far much better. He has arguably the best running back in Henry. So when you have a run game, that opens up everything else. But obviously not for Tannehill. A team would not waste a high-round draft pick on a quarterback if they feel that they have the answer. This is Tannehill's last shot, and we can call this the battle of last shots. Because at any point this season he becomes turnover Tannehill, here comes rookie QB Malik Willis out of Liberty, which by far has been the most exciting rookie to watch this year's preseason. And it's hard saying that being a Texans fan. I don't see the Giants staying in this game all 4 quarters because we don't know what to expect from this team. Give me the Titans 27-10. Last but not least, Buccaneers versus Cowboys. The Sunday night game that we all got last year in week 1. And the game that has all the Brady fans and Cowboys fans hyped. So let's get right to it. Injury-wise, Cowboys will be up without fan favorite wide receiver Michael Gallup due to a knee injury and might be without safety Jayron Kearse due to a neck injury. On the other side, Tampa looks pretty healthy, resting all their vets this week and only having cornerback Zayon McCullin out due to a hamstring issue. We all know the top pieces the Bucs have been building around Tom to get him to win a Super Bowl and to try to win him another ring after just being retired for 2 months. Even more so, changing the head coach that won him a Super Bowl and going to a familiar face and changing that spot. This is Brady's team. Clear-cut and through. But Dak Prescott and the Cowboys definitely have the pieces to pull this upset if they show up and play. I really think this game will be just as fun to watch as last year's 31-29 shootout. But this year is going to overtime, and I got the Cowboys pulling a Sunday night upset against the Super Bowl contending Bucs 31-28. That's all I have today for All Smoke, All 32. I can't wait to see what happens today. Hopefully my predictions help your picks. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow for that Monday night pick.